I'm going to try and paint the illusion of chrome. I'll start by painting in this gray area. This gray isn't totally neutral, it was a little bit cooler, so I added ultramarine blue to it. There's a lot of subtle shading that happens in this section here, so I'll work on that for a little while. I figure I'll work on the skin tones next. I just want to put the basic shape in here. I can come back and add the shadow shapes later. This is an ampersand Aquabord that I'm working on. It has like a textured clay surface. What I like about the clay coating is that it makes the first layer dry faster. I'm going to put in some of this background color. This edge on the ball is a little bit softer, so I'm trying to blend these two sections together. These are water mixable oils and they allow more time for blending than acrylics. I'll go ahead and work on the color of the wood table. If the color isn't perfect the first time around, I can come back and correct it later. Since I already mixed up the color of this wood, I might as well paint that section and the reflection of the chrome sphere. This section is darker because I'm casting a shadow onto the table. I overpainted this edge, so I'm just lifting some of this paint off. That's easier than trying to get paint to stick to a thick layer of wet paint. I'm wearing a dark blue shirt, so that's what's being reflected right here. It goes down to the edge of the table. It almost looks black, but there is blue in here. It's probably time to work on the thumb, so I think I'll just put in the basic colors for now. I'm starting to get like a dent in my thumb from hitting the board here, so I'm trying to give it a little rest. I want to define the edges of my nail on my thumb before I fill in the rest of the color. It really comes in handy having this section unpainted because I can rest my pinky on it, so I can steady my hand as I paint these little details. The thumb isn't perfect. I'll come back to it, but I want to put in the rest of these colors first. The doors in this room are like a dark brownish orangey color. This gradient needs to get smoother, and it's really hard to do because it's such a small area. The color of my index finger is being reflected in the ball, so I'll paint that section in now. I think it's time to fill in this gray background. There are a lot of subtle color variations in the color of this wood table. The shadow of the ball makes this section of the table darker. This color isn't right. I think it's too green. So I'll add some cadmium orange in it to make it warmer. I mixed up a darker version of my skin color for the shadow areas. I can also fix the shape by cutting back into it with the gray paint. Now that I have most of the colors filled in, I'll go back in and adjust some of the areas that need work. I think it would look shinier if this highlight was just a little bit brighter. It's time to put some final details on this thumb. I'm having trouble with this background color. It seems like it gets darker as it dries. That looks pretty good. I'm going to try and paint the illusion of chrome. I'm wearing a dark blue shirt, so that's what's being reflected right here. It's time to put some final details on this thumb. That looks pretty good.